Is it just say like person needs fingerprint or something like that? I'm just
They go, so you have to run along, come back on.
yeah. We were that very hard. We feel about now. So we're resolving.
If Mr. Meany's been in jail, I've talked to him at least twice.
Hold on, let me finish reading this.
Yes, sir. I apologize.
Thing.
Is right now. Riley's job. Sure he's ready. Sorry, from yesterday. Yeah.
I always been in the office.
They're related to each other.
I've never gone ask me.
It's the same issue. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Defendant in 24 CR 2413 is the state of Texas versus Lamarian Bean. Is that you?
So
You have to speak out so she can hear. You are here with Mr. Grove, your attorney, and the state's attorney. You are charged with the second-degree felony of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, go ahead, David.
All right, Judge, somehow, and I imagine I was partially to blame for this, although I'm not real sure exactly what happened. Mr. Bean was set to go to court on, I believe on the 21st
Of what month?
of May. And he did not go to court at the time. He actually had been told by someone at the court, and it wasn't me because I didn't know about the hearing. He also had a hearing at the Beaumont Municipal Court.
When?
And I believe that would have been on the same day, or, well, I'm not sure. What, did you have a court date in the Beaumont Municipal Court? Do you remember when that was? Sorry. You came to court here.
What day?
what
We're talking about November the 13th or that, because that would be last year. That's when this offense occurred.
Sorry.
Or February the 13th.
Needs bigger. Just.
You actually went to sword, is that correct? All right, what happened over there? They said there was a warrant because you know he was here in Stevens Court.
So I figured if somebody got those to the bed.
Man, that's not right. No, I got all the documents. A warrant was issued for him on February 4th. And there was his bondsman submitted an affidavit to surrender him because the defendant refused to report to the bondsman, has already failed to appear for his municipal court date, does not have stable address, and the bond is at risk, requests a warrant. So a warrant was issued and the court ordered a hearing upon his arrest. I don't know when AFRS, no bond forfeiture. And actually, the court ordered a $60,000 bond and a GPS device on 2/13. Defendant was taken to jail on 2/13. Set 2/25, an announcement, and the court notes the defendant in jail. Then on March, I reset it for March 4th for an announcement on March 31. Just keeps getting reset somewhere. And then the last one is on 5/21. It was, this court set it for, I'm sorry, on 5/12, I set it for 5/21 on a hearing on the bond issue. I don't know what happened, but on 5/21,
I believe, Judge,
and we reset as soon as possible for bond to be set, and that's that's the third or fourth time I reset this with exclamation points, which means it's not being done. And there's a time factor here. So now he's here. I don't know what took so long.
Has he been under bond conditions
No.
at any point?
No,
Because
he's jail, Judge.
no, I know he's been in jail, but we keep resetting it to get him up here and he's not showing up.
I'm gonna make the court aware that from the jail, he's been communicating with the complainant in the case quite a bit.
Judge, he's been in jail. He's been in Jefferson County Jail since the day he was first arrested in this court. He hadn't been anywhere else. Now, I don't know why he hadn't been getting up here or what the situation there is, but he hadn't been brought up here.
They reset every time.
I know, well, hold on.
I think last week.
That's fine, David, but you're his attorney. Somebody needs to make it known to me that there's a problem. I've got 5,000 defendants. I mean, we're trying to get everybody done, but
Yes, sir.
somebody's got to wave the flag, and because this doesn't happen normally.
Last week, Judge, it was Mr. Grove had to leave early from court, and that's why we didn't get to reach this hearing.
Time for a bond. Fine. He's here.
Yes, sir.
Let's move forward.
Further, Judge, I've been provided with 4 telephone numbers by Mr. Bean, and I've called all 4 of those more than once, hadn't been able to get anybody from his family to talk to about why he wasn't here. But I do have 4.
He's here.
Yes, sir. And he
Go
doesn't
ahead.
know why I had.
Go ahead. What do you want?
So, Judge, I think if we could ask the court to set a bond on him, I believe he did appear on the day he was supposed to appear, and he has been in custody for some period of time. And I'm sure that there's many things I should have done and I didn't do, obviously. So I apologize to the court.
Good.
But
Let's go. What do you want to do today?
I'd ask the court to reinstate his original bond
Why?
that he had in this case, because he has made all of his appearances as far as, in fact, although I think technically he did not re-sign it. On the first time he was brought down here, which I believe may have been February the 13th. He had been arrested the night before and was very upset. And some of the bailiffs, some of the female bailiffs, spoke with him and calmed him down, but he did not appear before the court on that day. And I believe that he did appear, but he didn't. I believe that's from the original.
What was the original bond?
Didn't know long 30,000.
I don't think that's sufficient.
And then the bondsman got off of, it was $30,000. The bondsman, that was made on the day after Christmas.
Yes, sir.
And then it says the defendant's refusing to report as agreed weekly, failed to appear at his municipal court date, does not have a stable address, the bond is at risk and requests a warrant. That was on February 4th. And that's what that court granted this affidavit of surety to surrender with an order having a hearing when he gets arrested. For some reason, my order was not followed. Okay, I think I understand where we are here. Go ahead.
One other thing that, and I was bringing this up, but I believe since he's been incarcerated so long that I think he will show up. Mr. Eckhart indicated that the defendant had been contacting the complaining witness. I have no knowledge of that, although the complaining witness has called me and has spoken to me in this case, so I can believe something like that happened. But I'd ask the court just to consider reinstating his bond. And I apologize because obviously most of this was my fault because I did not ask for a bond earlier. I should have been able to get in touch with his family, but did not.
Okay, who have you talked to, or,
Early on, Judge, I talked to Mr. Bean's girlfriend or wife,
who is,
Ms. Gassworth. And she was still living with him. They were living in Jasper the last time I spoke with her, but I've been unable to get in touch with her. I've also spoken to his mother on one occasion.
who is, what's that person's name?
Shaw. Shaw. And Ms. Shaw.
What was that, first name or last name?
So that.
Miss Shaw?
And, but I haven't been unable to get in touch with her. I spoke with, Margie, Matthews, who is the complainant. And at the time of the incident, he was actually staying with, Mr. Bean and his wife. But, when I spoke with her, she was staying in a different location. And I don't have that address. I just had a phone number that she calls. And then also they gave Miss Gassaway, he gave Miss Gassaway his phone, but he was arrested. And I've tried to get in touch on that, and that has been disconnected. And I believe that was Miss Gassaway that had that.
Okay, well, so what is the point you're making on this?
Judge, I would ask the court to reconsider reinstating the original bond that he was placed in jail on. He was arrested on a warrant, I believe, probably on a bond that had been set by a justice of the peace, and then was in jail, got out before he ever actually went to court, I believe. And then was arrested when he came up to go to court. And there hasn't been a bond since that time, I believe. I may have left a couple of things out.
Go ahead. What's state say?
I think if you take all this, all these other procedural problems out of the equation, I would still be thinking the bond is not sufficient. So that's really where I'm at here now, based on everything I'm seeing. Well, because of the fact that if you look at what is in the probable cause affidavit, combined with the fact that we know that he's been communicating with one of the victims present at the scene, Gasway.
Gasaway was not one of the, Gasaway specifically gave a statement to the Beaumont Police Department that she did not wish to file charges and was not injured.
She also didn't dispute anything that the sister said. She just said she didn't want to file charges. So I have a very big concern here, given that this is the type of situation that easily escalates and, we come back here and we're dealing with something else.
Even more interesting, Judge, it is not a sister, it is a stepsister, or I'm not sure they have a blood relationship between the two of them, but they're not living together now.
I just don't think that really matters for purposes of what we're here to decide.
What do you understand? Who is the defendant reaching out to from the jail?
Gasway, the wife that did not want to file charges, but I fully intend to call as a witness if we have to try a case.
And she is not a victim in the case, nor is she listed as a victim, although she was a witness. I thought you were talking about Miss Matthews. I've spoken to both of them, but
she is not the named complainant, but she easily could be. I could file another charge with or without her permission.
You want me to read out the probable cause affidavit? That's what we're relying on here. You want me to read this out?
I,
I'll read it out so the whole world can understand. So we've got, the police make contact with Gasaway and Matthews. Two females. Gasaway states she was having an argument with the defendant, which led to him coming home locked out of his residence. Gasaway states the defendant broke the door down and Gasaway and Matthews run to the bedroom of their apartment. They both stated they heard the sound of a gun being cocked. A firearm was discovered inside their residence. Matthews stated she observed the defendant point the firearm directly at their heads. Gasaway and Bean, the defendant, began a verbal altercation, which led to Bean, the defendant, grabbing Gasaway by her neck and pinning her to the wall. Gasaway stated the defendant then body slammed her on the bed and held her down. She was not able to freely move. Due to these facts, Bean was arrested, the defendant, for the above charge and transported to the Jefferson County Jail. Okay, that is what we're relying on here. That's the probable cause affidavit signed under oath by Beaumont Police Department, who investigated the case. The defendant is charged with intentionally or knowingly threatening Matthews with imminent bodily injury and used and exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the commission of the assault, which is in line with the probable cause affidavit. What is the indictment there's not an indictment stating that Gasaway is a complainant in a formal indictment.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay.
I do think that we should have a bond condition addressing that right there, just because we know he's been in contact with her.
With whom?
Gasaway.
Okay, what about that? Mr. Wood.
Judge, we can get into the entire fact situation here. It was his apartment where the incident
No, I'm
took
talking
place.
about the communications he's having with with Gasaway.
I don't see how that is disobeying any order of the court. What he has four
Wait.
children, three children.
Wait.
It's not what I said.
Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. You don't think that's a violation of any court?
Well, contacting her alone made
What do you think?
plus, I don't know how he contacted her, but I'm assuming it might have been by telephone. It could have been that she came to see him at the jail because local, but I don't believe, and I'm sorry, I'm probably misinterpreted the point that the prosecutor was trying to make in
No,
that.
so we're talking about setting bond conditions. Let's get to the bond. We're talking about setting bond conditions that the defendant would follow of orders of the court. And what I'm saying is on Matthews is the complainant in this indictment.
Yes, sir.
But what about the communication he's been having with Gasaway?
All right, that's what I was very inartfully trying to address, Judge. As a result of this, Miss Gasaway basically moved back to Jasper, where she was living with Mr. Bean and three children.
I know, I'm talking about since the incident, since he's been arrested. What's
But I think
her relationship with Gasaway?
I don't think that he has threatened her or anything.
He's
of that.
communicating with her.
Well, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't understand that he was communicating with her.
I thought that's what this.
Yes.
No, I mean, Mr. Eckhart said that he was, and he has more access to the jail phone calls. I didn't know that until this morning.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just looked it up while we were here.
What is it that you? No.
approximately 50 messages back and forth. There's probably phone calls as well. Yes.
Oh. Here's the problem. Okay? I'm taking the word of the prosecutor, and he's a court official just like you. And I'm going to present, okay, you're not disputing.
I'm not saying that he's not.
I've got to set some orders that he can follow, that I can trust he will follow. Here's a magistrate's protective order
Yes,
that was signed by the magistrate that says you shall not contact or have any contact with Gasaway. If you're going to violate this judge's order, you're going to violate mine. I'm sorry, it's an order that's in the record. Mr. Grove probably didn't know that because this was signed at the time of the event.
I
And
apologize.
here it is. You can have a copy of it. And it says, among other things, you shall have no communications with Gasaway. And this is signed by Judge Hughes, who signed this protective order on November 3rd of 24, and it's still in effect.
I don't dispute
He
that.
can't follow a judge's protective order. Why would he follow mine?
Again, I apologize. I didn't know that he had been contacting Miss Gasaway because when I talked to him, he hadn't contacted Miss Gasaway.
All
Hadn't
right,
been able to.
all right, we're gonna move along.
Okay.
So the court finds that I'm not going to set a bond at this time. Because he can't follow a judge's protective order, he's not gonna follow mine. And until you start following, and until you quit interrupting me, interrupting, you will stay in jail.
Hurt nobody, you ain't doing nothing to nobody.
That's all. What are we gonna do next, David? I'll set it for trial.